What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tequila Tuesday. I wish I had the record button going earlier when Larry made his entrance. So I apologize for not doing that. We're going to talk tonight about passion and about energizing yourself, keeping yourself motivated, finding your why again after the thing you were just passionate about flopped and you got to get back on the horse again. Yeah, I might be looking at you, Cynthia. It's possible. It's possible. And there's no better person out there, in my opinion, to guide everybody through this than Mr. Larry Long Jr. Larry and I, I'd say, have been aware of each other for quite a while. And, I paid attention to him and the things that he talks about and the things that he writes and the things that he does. And, kind of like most people, kind of got to know each other a little closer over the last year and a half or so. And I really look forward to today that I can meet with, hang out, swap war stories with Larry. I enjoy being around him like some of you probably do, just even from a distance, because I absorb his energy. And I need that because I don't have that kind of energy naturally. Shocking to everybody I know. So same format as usual. If you've got questions for Larry, drop them in the chat, message me. I'll get a queue going. Your questions drive these conversations. Larry doesn't have a 2-hour speech prepared. Right? He's going to talk a little bit, share his story, but the questions have got to come from you to keep this thing going. And we'll record it. I'll upload it tomorrow. And without further ado, Mr. Larry, you're in charge. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that.
What happened? I hope you prepare. I hope everyone has their seatbelt on because I got 100 slides. Is that okay? No, I'm just messing. I got 50 slides. No, I'm messing. I got a few slides. but I'm honored to be here. I appreciate it, Scott. I mean, he told me we were talking about passion as a pipeline. I said, what you talking about, Willis? Brothers don't know how to swim or surf. So someone call Michael Phelps. Someone call, please call 911. I don't know what the heck I'm doing in here. Mama, we made it. But I'm gonna stop yelling. Y'all are probably like, damn, Larry, why is he so loud? I know my wife, she's like, do you yell at your computer all damn day? What the heck are you doing? I'm like, yeah. So we're talking about passion. We're talking about motivation. We're talking about pretty much what drives you, what your why is. And I got to thinking, and very rarely am I speechless, but this really got me speechless. So I thought about what can I share that y'all don't already know about my crazy ass. So I guess the word of 2021 is, can you see my screen? Do you see the screen with a whole bunch of stuff around it? Thank you, Alexine. 2 thumbs up. I really just wanted to share real quick my journey line. And then I was going to share some things behind what drives me, what fuels me. So born in 1978 in Baltimore, my parents worked for Department of Veterans Affairs. I grew up with a love and just an appreciation for veterans that serve for us. You can see from the different states, I've lived everywhere. Danville, Illinois, on the eastern side of Illinois. Then we moved to Grand Island, Nebraska, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Coatesville, Pennsylvania. And you'll see that little picture on the right. That's me and my coach Zig and his son, and good old Coatesville. That was elementary school. From there, moved to Columbia, Maryland, where middle school and high school. And during that time, I used to mow lawns by Larry, miscellaneous lawn care. So I had that little entrepreneurial itch. Played baseball at University of Maryland, and I've been in Raleighwood, North Kakalaki for the last 16 years. I left a job at Accenture, which you'll see, moved down here to open up an indoor baseball, softball academy. And after Raleigh, I now live in Durham for the last 2 years. So that's kind of my start from my younger years. As I progressed, I looked at it, and family and friends are super important. This is just a slide of me and my boys from back in high school, Will and John Pierre, my homeboys from college. That was a lighter version of Larry Long Jr. That was let me keep it real. That was about 45 pounds lighter back in the day. Who am I kidding? This was probably one of the best days of my life, me getting married at the courthouse to my wife, Maria, who you'll see at the top. The birth of my son, that's my father behind me. That's my son, Trey, in my lap. 3 generations of Larry Long. I'm Junior. My son is Larry Long the third, Trey, us on the golf course. Me and my mom looking at Trey. That's my daughter. That's me as a kid. I was crazy from the moment I came out the womb, but that's me in the middle with my dad, who has a serious face on. And then just going through, I mean, I'm reminiscing. Y'all are along for the ride. That's me and my crazy family. I think that was the first day of school with my son. That's my son and my daughter. The next pic, bunny ears. We were at Disney. Just fun memories. Bottom left, that's my pops, who you'll see a theme. My dad, Larry Long Sr., that's a lot of my motivation. That's a lot of my why, is really passing along his legacy. He meant, and he still means so much to me. I lost my dad 5.5 years ago, December 11, 2015. And I'm writing a book now. One of the chapters is lessons learned from my dad, which means a lot to me. My dad grew up in Baltimore City, the projects. If anyone's ever seen The Wire, that was his neighborhood. And Track was his way out of the ghetto. Only one from his family to graduate high school. And he always shared with me, he was a man of not many words. I get all my words from my mama. I get it from my mama. But my dad pretty much shared, hey, we're blessed. And I work hard to bless our family. And every day that you wake up is a blessing. And it's your responsibility to give those blessings, to share those blessings with someone else. The last pictures, we're going to end on a funny note. Those are my golf buddies. The one in the middle, don't look too close. I see you squinching, Alexine. We get dressed up. That was us in Ireland, dressed up all crazy. Everyone looking at us like, these are some damn fools. But that's my Euro US Cup golf group. And then the next 2 groups, that's kind of my brothers, my Tiger Woods convention golf group. We go to Myrtle Beach and they're like, damn, what is this? The Tiger Woods convention? Y'all can't play here. Y'all got to be caddies. That's a bad joke, but it makes me laugh. I'm Tiger Woods' long lost cousin. Larry hit it in the woods. And John, put the glasses on again, man. You look like you're in the damn witness protection program. But, and this is funny because Richard Harris, I first met him. I think it was not serving sales. It was the podcast. Yeah. And Richard was like, Larry, you need to come up with your own damn quotes. I don't really have any damn quotes. I just like pulling other people's quotes. And this is one of my favorites. I'm going to give you all my 2 favorites. Number 1 is Henry Ford here. And I'm going to give you all the remix. Whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're right. And being that we're all in sales, being that we're all in business, that mindset, that perspective, it's what anchors you. And I'll give you all a quick story. Some of y'all might have heard this. Started off my college career at University of Maryland playing baseball. We were in the ACC. My career, I started 1 for my first 24. That's at least what I like to say. It was probably 1 for my first 28, 30. It was terrible. Hey, Larry, what position do you play? Left out. Hey, coach, can I get in? Nah, dog, you're left out. Go to the end of the bench, because whatever you have, that shit might be contagious, kind of like these droplets. I don't want the rest of the team to get it. I'll never forget UNC Greensboro, weekend series, 0 for 2. I got in the 7th inning, 0 for 2 on Saturday, Sunday, 0 for 2. I'm in a Burger King. We're in a Burger King parking lot. We used to eat healthy. That's how we did as athletes. Talking to my dad. He's like, how do you feel, little Larry? He used to call me Little Larry, even though I was taller than him. His nickname was Shorty Long, but I said, I feel terrible, Dad. I stink. I suck. I don't belong in Division I baseball. Definitely don't belong in the ACC. My dad hopped through that phone real quick. He snatched me up. He had some choice words for me. You can use your imagination. There were some 4-letter words, some 3-letter words, but he pretty much said, hey, you can't have my name, Larry Long Jr., with a stank-ass attitude like that. That's not how we roll. You better get back to the drawing board. And by the drawing board, he meant you better get on the tee, and you better, like Allen Iverson said, you better start practicing. Practice, not the game. But he said, most importantly, you better get your mind right. Because without your mind being right, once again, it's that Henry Ford quote. If you don't think you can, chances are you're not. Now, the next favorite quote I have, we're going to take a little pivot. Oh, actually, let me tell you how the story ends. UNC, I don't know if there's any Tar Heel fans, but UNC came to Maryland that next weekend. Got in on Friday, 7th inning, 2 for 2. My first hit, I'll never forget. I got jammed. Ball went over. It was a bloop over the first baseman's head. You might as well call me Kanye West. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was on top of the world. And essentially, that was kind of that Kickstarter. That got that momentum. I started on Saturday, 3 for 4, but who's counting? Started on Sunday, 2 for 4. So that one for my first 24, that batting average was starting to get over that Mendoza line of 200. Just having that belief, having that success. That's why it's so important to have a brag book, to have a track record of your success so that you can pull on. And I still pull on mine in terms of when I get down, which I do, when that fear, uncertainty, and doubt, that FUD starts running through my mind, like, Larry, are you stupid or are you dumb to leave your job as a sales leader, getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, getting a commission check every month, and getting a quarterly bonus? You got kids to feed. You got a wife that likes to shop. You like to golf. You like to travel. Are you stupid or are you dumb? I go back to, hey, I can do this. I had a failed business before, my baseball academy, but I can do this. Now, my second quote revolves around the Martin Luther King Jr. quote. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to help others? And as you can see, I played baseball at University of Maryland. I moved, after I left Accenture, I moved to Raleigh, North Carolina to open a baseball academy. I wasn't fulfilled. I was making pretty good money relatively at Accenture, balling out, traveling, but I was just like, this can't be God's plan for me. Faith is very important to me. I said, this can't be what I'm put on this earth to do. I'm helping move call centers from here in the US to India. Come on, man. So that America Online, so that Verizon can return shareholder value. Nah, I'm not about that life. So open up my academy, impacted children's lives, really showing them the way of baseball and really life skills. How you can take the skills that you learn on the field, on the diamond, into life. Now, you can see, this is my NASCAR slide. You can check out my LinkedIn. I've worked everywhere. I've had so many damn jobs. I'm like a rolling stone of sales companies. It's like, damn, every 2 years I start to get that itch. And my wife is like, uh-oh, it's back again, ain't it? I'm like, yeah, I need something different. But when you look at my journey, almost every 2 years, we move places. So it only makes sense that, hey, I get a little bit bored. It's like, I'm trying to figure out what's my purpose, what's my dream, what's my why? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And I just seem to not really be in a good place. What I'm doing now as a speaker, as a coach, being able to impact lives every day and actually have an impact is absolutely amazing. Just the other day, it was Sunday night at 10:30 Eastern time. A gentleman that I coached last week in Australia, which if you look at the time zones, it was Monday at 12:30. He sent me a LinkedIn message with a picture of him after his workout. He had said that his top 3 priorities, when you look at the 8 buckets of priorities, faith, family, friends, fun, fitness, finances, you'll like this 7th F, philanthropy. You're like, this guy's an idiot. I know how to spell. I spell phonetically and frenetically. Google it. And then career, those 8 buckets. And you think about, what are your priorities? He pretty much said family first. His family lives in India. Finances next, because he likes to send them money. And then fitness. And I said, hey, what are you doing for fitness? Let's look at your calendar and see, what are you doing to show that you're aligned? He was like, I haven't worked out in ages. I said, okay. Open up your schedule. Let's go ahead and schedule that time. Send me the calendar invite. And then when you get done, I'm going to hold you accountable. Take a picture and send it to me. Mission accomplished right there. That's one of the proudest moments I've had in a long time, just being able to impact someone's life in a tangible way. So my question to you is, what's your motivation? I can tell you what my motivation is. My motivation is my 11-year-old son Larry Long III, Trey, my 7-year-old daughter, Lucia, my beautiful wife, Maria, my father's legacy, my mom who's still living, my daughter who's 10, my sister, not daughter. Ooh, that's an Amaretta talking to me. My sister who's 10 years younger is really showing that, hey, you've invested so much in me. I'm now going to make you proud. I'm going to now go out there and share that with others to uplift them. That's my motivation. My question to you is, everyone's got different motivation. What is your motivation? What inspires you? What is your why? And I'm no Simon Sinek. My wife reminds me of that every day. Ain't nobody paying for your stupid ass thoughts. Don't tell her. I know we're recording, but please don't share that with her. That's not what she actually says, but I'm a mind reader. I know that's what she's thinking. No one's paying you for your stupid ass thoughts. They're paying for the messenger with you, you crazy ass. Yeah, that's really, she could probably hear me. She's like, I'm gonna get you. My wife's from Argentina. Woo, she's a fiery South American. I better watch my back. But you got to figure out what your motivation is. So I got to thinking, we've been going through some turbulent times. And I don't care if you're a newborn, I don't care if you're a centenarian. And some of y'all are like, damn, he's using some big ass words. I only know centenarian because my Aunt Willie just turned 95. And my daughter, who's 7, and she's sharp, she pretty much said, Aunt Willie, I hope you live to be a centenarian. I said, Lucia, spell it. I said, what is a centenarian? She said, Aunt Willie, I hope that you're going to live to see 100 years old. We're going through some shit right now. We're going through some turbulence. I thought that we made it out of COVID. Uh-oh, Delta's coming. What's right around the corner? Who knows? But it's going to be some turbulence. There's going to be some rocky roads. I ask you, are you built on a strong foundation? It's kind of like Scott. I told Scott I can't make it to surf and sails because I don't know how to swim. I definitely don't know how to surf. And I heard stories that sharks like dark meat. So I'm going to keep my black ass at home. That's just between us. I know we're in an intimate setting here. Let's keep that just between us. But as I think through the turbulence, and I wrote out a couple of questions. Just the first one is, hey, Larry, you talked about your father. And please, if you have any questions, put them in the chat because this is about y'all. This isn't about me, but I just seeded a few. Hey, Larry, you talked about your father and the impact that he had. What's been that impact? And there's 7 things, but there's really, I think there's 3 or 4 that I want to focus on. Number 1, the importance of faith, trust, and belief. Number 2, love for family. He just demonstrated that, loving your family. Number 3, giving back to others. And that's one I really want to highlight. You don't want to be a me monster. And some of y'all are like, WTF, what's a me monster? You know what a me monster is. You've worked with them. You probably work with one now. You've played sports with them. You might have them in your family. And if you still don't know who a me monster is, I hate to say it, look in the mirror. It might be you. It's that person that wakes up and all they care about is me, 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 me. No, don't be a me monster. Give back to others. Be a you monster. I've got the book behind me. Bob Berg talks about being a go-giver. Young Jeezy, the great philosopher Young Jeezy, I love his song, Go Getter. I love a go-getter, but I really love a go-giver. Make sure that you're giving back to others. Number 4, love for sports and competition. We're in sales. Now, I'm not saying you got to compete against your colleague to your left and right. It should be collaborative, but you should be competing against yourself. For anyone that's played team sports, for anyone that's played individual sports, that's kind of the joy behind it. I mean, I just shared probably 3 weeks ago my thoughts about SMART goals. Does everyone's heard of SMART goals before, right? Okay, see a lot of heads. I think SMART goals are dumb. That's just me. I don't think anyone's dumb, but I think SMART goals are dumb. I like the specific. I like the measurable because that's why we're in sales. We keep score. And I like the time bound. But when it comes to the A and the R, nah, like Sweet Georgia Brown said, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not looking for attainable. I'm not looking for realistic. I don't know if y'all are, but I'm not good with being good. I think the other great philosopher outside of Young Jeezy, T.I., he said it best. I don't want no mediocre. Shoot, why attainable and realistic? It doesn't get me excited. And y'all can tell, hopefully, I like to be excited. I'm working with a coach. I don't know. I mean, I applaud y'all for investing in yourself and being here. Showing up is half the battle. And I encourage you to keep that up. Take it to that next level. My coach, I came to her with my goals and she said, nah. She said, hey, Larry, I'm going to be honest with you. If these are your goals, fire me. I'll give you a refund of my, she ain't cheap. I almost thought about it. I said, I can get a refund. But I said, nah, I'm working with you for a reason. She said, hey, with these weak ass goals, she didn't say that, but once again, I'm a mind reader. That's what she was thinking. With these weak ass goals, you can do that on your own. You don't need me. She was like, you better come back stronger. So I came back with some goals and she was like, all right, this will keep you up at night, which I wouldn't say it keeps me up at night, but it makes the hair. Well, I don't have any hair. If I had hair, it would make the hair stand up. Can I borrow some, Scott? I saw you had gotten tightened up, man. I ain't one to gossip, but man, oh. But essentially, make sure that you're challenging yourself. That's the love of sports and competition. Hard work and work ethic. Everyone says they work hard. I used to own a baseball academy. Every kid says, yeah, Coach Larry, I work hard. I'm hitting off of a tee. Nah, that's a lie. Do you really work hard? That is the question. My dad, he demonstrated what hard work was, because for him, it was either stay in the hood, keep doing what everyone else is doing, stay in the hood and end up in jail or dead, or bust your ass, really bust your ass and get to that next level where you can actually have some freedom, some flexibility to do some things, overcoming obstacles, being dedicated, being determined, having perseverance. A lot of us talk about it. We talk about doing the hard rowing, but do we actually do it? That is the question. And then the last one, this is the most important one, positive attitude. And when I think about positive attitude, I really thought, what do I want y'all to take away? I know I'm gonna say a lot of words because I say a lot of words, and half the stuff I say, I don't even know what I be saying. I black out, to be honest with you. I'm just being serious. But here goes what I want y'all to take away. It's a choice, and it starts with you. The positive attitude, that's your choice. When I wake up, there's days that I wake up and I'm like, oh, Lord, back at it again. Oh, I'm burnt out. Yeah, I go through that. But then I say, hey, this is a blessing. I try to change my perspective. I have a former sales rep, Jamie Babb, but now he's official. He works for Walmart. He's like, please call me James. I'm like, whatever, Jamie. He pretty much said, you've got the choice to really any situation to look for the good, the great, and the wonderful. And he shared that with my team. I was at a company called Channel Advisor. We sold software to online retailers. He spoke to my team, and right after that, here in North Carolina, we don't really get snow, we just get ice. So the whole town shut down with an ice storm. Nathan Thorpe, one of my reps, ended up skidding off the road into like one of those snowbanks, I guess they call it. His car got stuck. He said, Larry, Jamie's message couldn't have come at a better time. The good thing is that I got exercise having the walk. The great thing is that I got to stay in a good night's sleep at a hotel. He ended up sleeping in a hotel. He said the wonderful is I didn't have his girlfriend, now wife, and his dog in the bed kicking him. So it's all about your perspective, how you look at things. Yeah, bad shit happens each and every day. I think the millennials, I see some of y'all are millennials. I think y'all call it YOLO. I had to look up on Urban Dictionary. I said, what the hell is YOLO? You only live once? I said, damn. I said, I'm living on a yo-yo, going up and down on a Tuesday, which I normally call Taco Tuesday, but now it's Tequila Tuesday. I'm gonna have to tell my daughter, because she's like, Daddy, we've got to eat tacos. It's Taco Tuesday. Now I'm gonna tell her, shoot, you better drink some tequila. I'm having my little amaretto sour. So essentially it's your choice. The second thing, intentionality. It's not, this isn't by accident. It's being intentional. So essentially when you wake up, do you intentionally say, I'm going to make the most of this day? I think some of y'all have seen the movie Good Will Hunting. I think it's Good Will Hunting. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. It might not be, but Carpe Diem, seize the day. Was that Good Will Hunting? Any movie buffs out there? Someone put it in chat. I'm probably wrong. I'm wrong all the time, but I say with such conviction, I got myself convinced or confused that it was Good Will Hunting. I met a gentleman, dude was out in Cali. He said, Larry, he took his shirt off. Well, he pulled his shirt sleeves up. He had Carpe Diem tattooed on his damn forearm. I said, ooh, I'm afraid of needles. Y'all don't know this. When my daughter was born, I went to my happy place. It was just when my son was born, I know I'm going on a tangent, but there's a point. My son was born, I was all up in there. I was watching. My wife was like, oh, Lord, don't let this fool pass out. But I was good. The doctor was like, the head is coming out. Do you want to see it? We didn't know if it was a boy or girl. He had hair looking like Scott, like Wolfman. I said, oh, we got a daughter. Came out, it was a boy. I said, that's my boy. Hercules. Now, when my daughter was born, you see what happened was we were eating some gelato. I had 2 things of gelato, and I love my desserts. I'm a sucker for sweets. And then my wife said, uh-oh, Houston, we got a problem. She said, my water broke. I said, oh, shit. I had to throw away my gelato. I was all discombobulated. Dropped off her family, her mom and her dad from Argentina at the house, grabbed the bag, went there. The drill sergeant, the delivery nurse, she was just too hyped. She was too intense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I said, shit, I got to go to my happy place. So I passed out. My wife got all worried. I went to stand up. They said, no, sit down, Mr. Long. They put me in the damn wheelchair, gave me a little apple juice sippy cup, took me down to the emergency room. I woke up and I was like, what the heck happened? Did that really happen or was I dreaming? It happened. I passed out, but neither here nor there. Intentionality. Number 3, don't do it alone. Don't do it alone. Now, I'm not saying don't be a me monster, but essentially relationships. Think about the people that you roll with. I think there's a saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yep.
If you're spending time with negative Nancy's, negative Nellies, I apologize if anyone's name is Nelly. My middle name is Nelson. If your name is Nancy, I apologize. But if you're around negative Nancy's and negative Nellies, guess what? You're probably going to be negative. So look at the company that you keep. Look to your right, look to your left. Are you around people that encourage you, that challenge you, that elevate you? Or are you with crab pots that hold you down? Yeah, Alexine, meow. Yeah, that's an encouragement that I'm looking for. It's kind of like, I don't know if there's any real sports fans, but the coach over at Coastal Carolina, the football coach, you can Google it. I don't want no cats. Meow, meow. I want a dog. I think he got fired after he did that thing, but it was hilarious. So essentially, be careful of the company that you keep. Number 4, do unto others. I said it before, but this is just a basic tenet. Give, and give some more in the spirit of giving. I don't care if you're at the lowest of the low. There's someone who's in a worse spot. There's someone who would trade shoes with you immediately. What can you do to help someone else out? And it really starts local. Look in your household, look in your family, look in your neighborhood, right on your block. Who can you help? Just little acts of kindness. It goes a long way. It makes a world of difference. And then number 5, you got to have fun. You got to have fun intentionally. Once again, it's one of those 8 buckets. I talked to a group of CEOs in Chicago back in June. One of the CEOs, I had them rate scale of 1 to 10, doing an honest audit, faith, family, friends, fun, fitness, finances, philanthropy, and career. Where are you at right now? And what can you do starting tomorrow to take you from a 7 to an 8, to take you from a 4 to a 5? This gentleman said, hey, Larry, I hate to say this, but in the fun category, I'm a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10. I said, oh, shit, you came to the right place. I can't help you with none of the 7 others. I'm struggling myself. But fun, you came to the right place, dog. I said, what's going on? He said, hey, I'm a business owner. Things are tough. Things are tight. I'm not fun to be around for my employees, and that carries over to my home life. I said, well, hey, what can we do? What can you do right now to change that? Essentially, it's your choice. You've got to be intentional. You've got to be committed and dedicated to actually doing something, or it's kind of like being insane, doing the same damn thing and expecting different results. So that was kind of what I was thinking about with my father's impact. I've got 2 more things, and then I see, damn, we got 71 chats. I'm going to go through real quick. How do I keep my energy high? It's a choice. Every morning I say, hey, I woke up, thank God. I'm awake, I'm alive. I'm going to make the most out of this day. Lessons from baseball. Baseball, you fail a lot, kind of like sales, kind of like life. You're going to go through it. It's really having that mindset that, hey, I'm okay with not being successful. What I'm not okay with is dwelling in the shit. Like, I'm not going to dwell. Like that last at bat when I struck out and I looked silly, it's over. Fido, that's not the name of my dog. I'm afraid of dogs. I used to have a dog. He was a Pomeranian, 4.8 pounds, Shaq, because I love Shaquille O'Neal. But Fido, we're in close company. As long as HR ain't here, stands for fuck it, drive on. That at bat's over with. Fido, my son loves it. I don't know. When I was 11, I liked the cuss. He's like, Daddy, Fido. I'm like, okay, son, forget about it, drive on. He's like, nope, fuck it, drive on. I'm like, dude, stop. Fitfo, there was a cross-country runner from Boston College. He was part of the student athlete advisory committee. He said, Larry, I'm going to steal Fido, but I come bearing gifts. I'm going to give you something. Me and my roommate, we had this saying called Fitfo. I said, what'd you call me, dog? Don't be throwing no slurs at me. He said, no, Fitfo, dog. He said, figure it the fuck out. So I encourage you, Fido and Fitfo, as you go through your journey. We've all got journeys. Baseball, ups and downs. And then the last thing I want to say, and I'll shut the heck up. I'll give you all the microphone. The importance of mentorship, the importance of being mentored, and the importance of mentoring others. I'm a mentor over at NC State, North Carolina State University, their entrepreneurship clinic. So many times the students say, hey, Larry, I'm looking for a mentor, but I don't have anything to give them. In my Steve Harvey Family Feud voice, I say, survey says, nah, you've got a ton to give. It's all about your perspective. You're a millennial. You're on TikTok, right? Shoot, these old ass, pardon my language, these old ass people, they don't know nothing about TikTok, but it could help them if they own a business and they don't know about TikTok. They don't know about IG Reels. Shoot, you better drop it like it's hot. You better, drop the mic on them and then go ahead and get yours. It's a give and take. So I'm a big believer. I've got mentors. I've got mini mentors. I've got mentors for different seasons. And I absolutely love to give what I've learned to other people. So my question to you is twofold. What are you sharing with other people, colleagues, family members, folks that are in your community? Are you giving them anything of value? And then what are you getting from people? Are you getting different perspectives? So I appreciate it. I think I was supposed to talk about passion as a pipeline. You already know that a brother doesn't know how to surf, doesn't know how to swim. I said a whole lot of words. So I'm going to give y'all the microphone. What's on your mind? Talk to me.
All right. Thanks, Larry. Eric, we're going to go to you first. Eric Baudet.
Hey, Larry. Awesome to be here tonight for this. I got to say, so I have a question for you, but I have to say first, so I grew up in Flint, Michigan. I was part of the city championship swim team. And growing up in Flint, Michigan, you better believe that I was the minority on that team. So I'm sorry, buddy, this Excuse Factory is closed on Costa Rica. You can absolutely learn how to swim.
Yes. Just joking, man. I used to be on the swim team, but I was terrible. I was supposed to be doing the breaststroke and I was losing. I said, F this. I'm going to start. I said, I know how to come back. I got disqualified so quickly.
Hey, you're still here. You're still kicking. So say, hey, man, you proved it yourself. You can absolutely do it. So, now, listen, my question is about, you mentioned a couple of times that there were times where you got down or there were times where, things kind of got the best of you. And I'm curious if you could share, and I'm asking if you could think of like the specific things that you say to yourself. Like, how do you talk to yourself in those moments? What does your internal dialogue sound like? Yeah. I'd love to hear that.
My last day in corporate America was March 26. They eliminated my position. My ass got fired, but they gave me a severance. Everything worked out for a reason. I was prepared for it. I've been praying about it, but that still doesn't make it all sunshine and rainbows. And it's tough. Not getting a paycheck. It's like, how am I going to figure this to freak out? Especially because everything I was doing before was free. And my wife said, baby, I love you, but free 99 doesn't pay our light bill. So this was just in July, 4th of July. We went to Maryland with my mom and my sister. My wife and I went to Vegas, celebrated our 15-year wedding anniversary, and I was there for a convention. And you talk about fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Can I make it as a speaker? Can I make it as a coach? Can I take care of my family? I believe I can, but then there's a part in my mind where I write this story that you're a dumbass. Like, what are you doing, man? Go back to corporate America, get that paycheck every 2 weeks, get that monthly commission, and get that quarterly bonus. So the narrative is kind of like good cop, bad cop. It's kind of like two sides, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Like, Larry, be bold, be brave. I think that's Sarah Bareilles, right? Y'all, what y'all know about that? I want to see you be brave, Sarah Bareilles, y'all. Yeah, you heard me talk about the great philosophers. I saw Sarah Bareilles in concert. She was jamming. That was my wife. My wife dragged me, but it was rocking. But essentially, be bold, be brave, be you, and just be confident in yourself. So the narrative, to be honest, Eric, it's kind of like, it's twofold. It's like, you can do this, let's go. And then my wife is like, Hercules. And then it's the other side that's like, uh-oh, can you really do it? I'm battling that today, Eric. I'm battling that today. I mean, I look at my board, and I've got a few things on my board for engagements, but it's like, do I have enough? I know I don't. I need a bigger pipeline. I'm trying to fill my funnel right there. So if anyone can help, I ain't too proud to beg. Does anyone need a speaker or a coach? I'm just being serious, but nah, it's I don't know. It's pumping myself up, but also relying on my coach. And I learned, I mean, I'm 40. How old am I? 43. I was born in 78. I think I'm 43. I'm not the brightest bulb, but essentially it's realizing that, hey, I don't need to be a hero. I don't need to do it all on my own. It's okay to ask for help. And I ask my mom for help all the time. I ask my coach for help all the time. My homeboy, Morgan Ingram, Richard, Scott. I mean, I'm not afraid to ask for help, when I need it. And we all need help. It's like, hey, back in the day, and even now, it's kind of like I put on that armor, like, oh, I can do it on my own. Don't be weak. Don't ask for help. And it's like, no, you're stupid. Ask for help. So that's a battle that I go through probably daily, if not weekly, of being vulnerable and saying, hey, can you help me out here? I need some advice. I need some guidance. Hey, I need a positive word. YouTube. I love YouTube because if you go look at Eric Thomas, the algorithm kicks in and they're like, if you like ET, then you're going to like this from Jocko. If you like Jocko, you're going to absolutely love this from my boy David Goggins. If you like Goggins, then you're going to love Chip Eichelberger. If you like Eichelberger, it's one of those things. And sometimes you just got to manufacture it. I don't necessarily say fake it till you make it, but sometimes you just got to manufacture that confidence, that positivity.
Thank you.
I've yet to meet anyone that's positive 100% of the time. I know I'm not.
I truly appreciate you, sharing that flip side of the coin. I mean, you do absolutely share a ton of positivity. So to be honest, it's kind of nice to know that you're human.
Dude, if you ask my wife, she'll be like, I got some stories to tell. Not only is his dumbass human, but he's an idiot. I mean, my wife is the brains behind my business. Like, I'm not that bright. I work hard. I believe in myself, but my wife is brilliant. Like, she doesn't even know how brilliant she is, but I mean, she knows her stuff. Don't tell her I said that though.
Never would. Thank you, Larry.
Appreciate it, ED.
All right. Thanks, Eric. Frank Morris, we'll go to you next.
Hey, thanks so much, Larry, Scott. Appreciate the opportunity to speak. The question I had is just like with morning routines. I think getting in a good mindset the last 18 months in a new job right before the pandemic has been brutal. And so for me, I feel like consistency has always been something I've stuck to, and I haven't been with my morning routines. It's always reactive. So I was curious, since you have a really good positive mindset, and I'm struggling with that from time to time, what's a good way to kind of do that in the mornings?
Yeah, 1,000 push-ups, I'm just kidding. My morning routine. I wake up at 6:30. I roll over, kiss my wife, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, take a quick shower, go upstairs, get the kids up and ready. I'm carpool dad, so that's kind of my morning routine. It's when I leave, my wife goes on her walk. She does that religiously. I need to start getting some movement. My choice of exercise is riding in a golf cart, getting my Tiger Woods on. Y'all don't know, but I'm Tiger's long lost cousin. Larry hit it in the woods. But each person has their own thing. So it's like I've never even in college, it was just like, wake up, I gotta go to class, and then after that I got practice, I got lifting. Like it was regimented, but I've never been a morning person. Like I struggle in the morning. 6:30, I'm snoozing. Like I actually, I can show y'all. Like my clock. So I have like a wake up at 6:30. I got another one at 6:27. And don't ask me about why 6:27, but I don't know, 6:27. And this one's at 2:10, but I'll change it to 6:25 because I'll sleep through an alarm like that. That's just, I don't know. I mean, it's not like I need beauty sleep, but I mean, I encourage you to find what works for you. And if that morning routine, that consistency works for you, by all means, do it. I will tell you that there is something that I do. And this is, I don't do it to the extent that I used to. When I was younger, we moved around a lot. And my self-esteem, it's tough. Kids are tough. And I mean, I could give it, but it was tough taking it because people were teasing like, Larry, I used to have a gap. I like to smile. I used to have a big old gap, big Michael Strahan gap. And kids are like, you got a gap in your tooth. You got a big nose. Like all the things that kids say. So my mom, we would say our prayer at night. And then she used to make me stand up in the middle of the room and say out loud, I am somebody 10 times. And as a little kid, I'm a little nappy-headed kid. I think we were living in like Danville, Illinois at the time. I don't know, but essentially you start to believe. Like you say that enough times, 365 days, 10 times. I mean, y'all are math majors. What is that, 365,000? I don't know. It's a lot. You start to believe that you are somebody. I'm writing a book, and that's one of my action items is, hey, either in the morning or before you go to bed, say it out loud. Stand in the middle of your room and say, I am somebody, or whatever it is. I am the greatest. Say it out loud and see what happens. You do that 30 days, shoot, it'll change your life. It changed mine. I was walking around with my George Jefferson swag. I am somebody. They're like, who is this little snotty-nosed brat? He thinks he is somebody. He ain't shit. But I mean, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was Kanye before Kanye. I thought I was on top of the world.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I don't know if that answers your question. You're like, you should be a politician. You did not even answer my question. Sorry.
No, I think, I've tried, I've heard people talk about affirmations. I've heard people talk about meditating. It's just like, I start something and then, whether it's a good or bad day, I get distracted and start going before, like really, it's just hard for me to take that 15, 20 minutes to kind of get set. I just kind of walk into it. Been trying to do some exercising in the morning through a couple of days, but, other than that, nothing consistent.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, Frank. And I mean, I'm working with my coach because I'll be honest with y'all, my sleep used to be terrible. It still isn't great, but I try my best to get 7 hours of sleep. And I tried to justify, hey, Kristen is my coach. Hey, Kristen, I'm good rolling on 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Like I'm good. She was like, you think you're good, but why not give it a try? Why not just see what happens when you get 7 hours of sleep? And I mean, I could have told you, she's right. Like when I get 7 hours of sleep, I'm dynamite. Like JJ Walker, I'm dynamite. Like when I get 4 hours of sleep, I'm dynamite. Like I'm able to kind of fake it till I make it, but it's like these things that we all know. Like we know that we're supposed to eat fruits and vegetables. We know we're supposed to move. We know we're supposed to get sleep. Like those are basics. But for me, I justify, I'm too busy. Like I come up with stupid ass excuses to justify it. And that's why my coach is vital. Like, honestly, I got in a fight with my wife. Like she was like, you don't need a coach. You're going to pay her how much? I'm like, yeah, I need a coach. And she was like, no, you don't. I can be your coach. I'm like, no, it's just the dynamic. I ain't going to listen to you. But now that she sees the work that's going into it, the intentionality, like we're intentional about my sleep and we're measuring it. We're intentional about the time that I spend with my kids and inquiring with them. What does good quality time mean? For my daughter, it's snuggle time. For my son, it's Nerf guns. Like she was like, why don't you just ask him? Instead of you trying to come up with stuff, just ask them. For my wife, good quality time with her is putting the phone away and not talking about sports or golf. So we'll talk about Sarah Bareilles, I guess. So it's been great, but I feel you. I feel you, Frank.
That last line's awesome because I've always been very diligent about carving out time, but am I really there and like in the moment? I never thought like, how do you want to spend the quality time? Like ask them, stop trying to guess. So that's phenomenal. Thank you. And I saw some of the comments I was jotting down. So appreciate that, everyone else.
All right. Thanks, Frank. Let's go to Kelly.
Hey, Larry. I am so with you in that morning. It takes a little bit of energy, extra energy, getting up every day. But my question here is, this last year has been, let's say, a challenge. And having a toddler at home and teaching them and doing my job, as you can hear her in the background right now, I want to bring my best self to my life, to my kids, to my work. And, you feel that burnout. How do you bring your best self every day? I mean, a lot of these questions have kind of asked you, what's your motivation? What's your inner dialogue? So, what's your insight there?
Yeah, bringing your best self. It's once again, it's not easy. Like if someone said it's easy, I'd kind of question them. If it's easy, I want to talk to them. Whoever makes it easy. Now, are there things you can do to make it easier? For sure, but shit is tough. It's tough. That's life. I don't know. I don't really have a secret. I mean, I haven't figured this thing out, but I know that when I go to work, I have to. Like if I want to deliver for my family, if I want to put food on the table, I've got to hustle. Like I've got a target list, just like y'all, of associations as well as tech companies and people that I'm looking to reach out to and folks that I know that know other people. So I'm working those relationships and I make it a game. Like I enjoy meeting people. I mean, I had a coffee today at Panera. I don't even drink coffee, but we met for coffee. I drank water. My wife was like, that's wrong. You should at least order something, pay something. I'm like, he paid for something. He got something. I'm good. But I don't know. It's really, for me, it's the interaction. It's the people interaction that really drives me. For my family, it's the time. And it's the time without this thing. Like that's been my biggest challenge is I spend time with my kids, but I'm looking down. It's like you miss so much when you look down. Like my daughter's 7, she's in gymnastics now. And I come up with excuses. Oh, I got to get work done. No, you don't, Larry. Turn off the freaking phone and pay attention to watch what she's doing because it'll be over just like that. And you can't go backwards. It's one of those things. So it's just really trying my best. I don't know if anyone's ever done P90X, but the dude, I don't even remember his name, Tony Horton, maybe. He has this line where he said, and I didn't do P90X. I did P60X. I only made it 60 days. My wife got pregnant. Her and the dog were sitting. We lived in a small apartment. I'm struggling to do pull-ups. I said, this is for the birds. So I cut it off at 60, but he says, try your best and forget the rest. So as long as you're trying your best, K-Dub, come on, Kelly, that's all you can do. As long as you're trying to improve, that's all you can do. I mean, I believe we all have superpowers, but we're all still human. We're all still human. And I've yet to meet anyone who has it all figured out. When you look at faith, family, friends, fun, fitness, finances, philanthropy, and career, I've yet to meet anyone that's a perfect 10 across the board. Maybe some of the Russians, but they're taking steroids. I'm joking.
Can I,
I hope Vlad ain't here. Vlad'll be pissed off at me. What did you say?
can I maybe add something here,
Please.
Kelly? Did we lose Kelly?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
she kind of froze a little
Nope,
bit.
I'm still here.
Here's something that I find has worked for me, because this whole bring your best self, bring 100% of your best self every single day. I find that overwhelming. And I feel like the burden, the expectation of that is so daunting that I go to a dark place quick. And so what has worked for me is giving myself grace, saying, I don't need to be 100% every single day. I don't need to be my best self every single day in order to be successful. I don't need to be my best self in order to be a good parent, in order to be a good business person, in order to be a good spouse, in order to be a good husband, whatever. Sometimes I'm too sick and there's nothing I can do to be my best self. So my best today might be 60%. So can I just get to 60%? My best another day might be 80%. Can I just get to 80%? So I think a lot of times people put too much pressure on themselves to always be at 100, to always be at their best. And I promise you, 60% of you or 70% of you or 80% of you is more than good enough and is more than capable to get all sorts of shit done. And coming to terms and grips with that and accepting that, I have found to be very freeing. And I get rid of that burden and that pressure that I got to be perfect all the time. So that's something maybe that you could think about and ponder in a quiet moment and whatnot. Maybe that kind of strategy works for you, but that has worked well for me. I don't deal well with that pressure of you got to be at your best every single day. No, I don't. Because 60% of me will whoop your ass, even if you're at 100. And 80% of me will outperform all the rest of you. And 90% of me is a better dad than everybody else at this practice facility that I'm at. These are the stories that I tell myself, and the narrative and the kind of self-talk, to go back to Eric's kind of question. These are the things that I run through my head to keep me going. So steal whatever you want out of that, and I hope it's helpful.
Absolutely. And, this year has been a little tough. I'm there's only a handful on my team that has kids that have been kind of dealing with this year. And I'm new to the team, and I'm really competitive and almost a perfectionist. And I've had to really humble myself in that area in my entire life. So thank you very much for the input.
Yeah. Thanks, Kelly. Let's go to Kelsey, who has a question.
Larry. You bringing the energy today. So my question is, when you're the person that people come to as a safe space and to lean on constantly, to kind of two parts here, how do you remain positive and not let that negativity compound on you? Question one. And in part, how do you help shift their perspective to maybe be more positive?
Yeah. So it's an honor and a privilege that folks would even I take that as, that's just a high level of trust for someone to share what they're going through. And for me, I control the controllables. It's one of excuse me, it's one of those where, when you hear a lot of negative, it can bring you down, but I don't know, I get energy from people, and I appreciate having the opportunity to help people shift their perspective. The second part is really helping people find that path. I'm not gonna tell you what you should do, but I'm gonna ask questions. I've been so fortunate. I'm doing some coaching now with some of the sales reps over at Hootsuite. And I've got folks in India, in Vancouver, in Toronto, in the US, all over. And it's interesting because I have them answer some questions before. Everyone's got different priorities. Everyone's got different challenges and barriers. And the thing that I love is that they're bringing to me stuff that they wouldn't talk with their direct boss about. So it's like, wow, you don't have to, I don't control your job. I don't control your ends, the money you make. So folks are really vulnerable, and I just try my best to steer them and guide them to the best path for them. That's all I try to do is help them find what is that ideal situation look like personally and professionally for those things that are important to you. It's crazy. One observation I made is faith isn't very important to a lot of folks. It doesn't fall in their top 5, which is okay. For me, that's my number 1. But it's like, hey, Larry, when was the last time you read your Bible? How much time do you spend in the Word? If you tell me fitness is your number 1, when are you in the gym? Do you work out? Do you eat right? So if something's important to you, family, do you spend good quality time with your folks, your friends? Do you do anything with your friends special? So I don't know if that answers your question, but it's really one of those things you got to protect your space. And for me, it's like I get energy when I get to chop it up with people, even virtually. Like that's kind of my jam. I get a ton of energy. I went to the comedy club Sunday. I get energy from laughing. Like Huggy Lowdown, that's my dog. I used to work at the comedy club in Maryland. So I love Huggy Lowdown. I saw DL Hughley 3 weeks ago. Mask on, but we're starting to stretch out. Went to a Durham Bulls game, got rained out. We thought it got rained out, but then they played. Didn't find that out until the next day. I said, oh man, we are stupid. We left. I think it was like a 3-hour delay. Ain't nobody got time for that. But I don't know if that answers your question, Casey. I tried.
You did a great job. I appreciate that. See, you get energy from it, whereas sometimes I get energy from it and sometimes it's draining. So I have to pivot.
Gotcha. You know what does drain me? And I've been like this ever since probably high school. It's folks that have talent that just waste it. Like that drains me. It's like, I don't want to be around you. I can think, I'm not going to shout out names, but there's some specific examples of folks that had all the talent in the world. And for me, I had to bust my ass. It's like, I'm working hard. I'm taking 100 swings a night on my solo hitter. I got to stay focused just to get to my max. It's like, you're just wasting it, but I can't control other people. I can barely control myself. So it's like, hey, you let that thing brush off and you keep it moving. You stay in your lane. I think it was 5 years ago. I don't know if y'all remember. I love this meme. It's Michael Phelps. He's doing his thing, about to win that gold. Then there's the South African 2 lanes over. And it says, it's something to the effect of winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. Like the South African dude was looking over at Michael Phelps. It's like, dude, run your race. So I don't know. I try to stay in my lane, run the best race I can, and then help others to run their best race.
All right. Alexine.
Kelsey, you kind of took my question, but I still have nothing but love for you. So I changed my question and I'm going to ask that one. But before I do, I want to thank Scott. He helped me with a really big project recently and I played a really cruel joke on him earlier and he's been supporting me along the way. So just wanted to shout out and give some love to Scott because he deserves it, even though I got some fulfillment, but some sick and twisted fulfillment. So my question, Larry, also, this has been an amazing session. So one of the things that I'm trying to focus on is like kind of reclaiming my personal time. I'm a very much someone who is like work. I want to outperform. I want to do all the things. So I deprioritize myself. And then what happens a lot of times I'll get to like 8 p.m. and I just feel like I deflated. And then I'm like, okay, I could maybe watch a movie and then it's off to bed and I'm restarting. Sometimes it feels like Groundhog Day. So I'm working on some actual tactical ways to kind of reclaim my time, focus on mental health, like separate the two worlds because work from home has kind of blended everything together. And so I'm curious, do you have any tactical ideas, whether it be like, do you schedule out like workouts? Do you use like screen time on your phone? Are you doing like some different things like that have worked really well for you?
Well, not worked really well, but that's on me. I don't execute. I put stuff on my calendar because I run off of my calendar. If it's not on my calendar, it's not going to get done. But I'm not too bright. Like I just struggle. I mean, it's a struggle. I put stuff on my calendar and then I don't stick to it. Like today, I was supposed to go on I'm writing a book and my coach said, is your book even important to you? Because I kind of do like a little avoidance I don't know. And I told her it is important to me, but here goes why I'm struggling with the avoidance. It's a lame excuse. I just don't execute. So I struggle with it, but I try my best to put it in my calendar and then I try to execute it. I had a enterprise VP, Paul Colucci, who said, he shared with my team, he said, if you put, and he was talking to us, it was an SDR team. If you put in your calendar that you're going to have a cold call block, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, you've got to protect that with your life. He said, that's gold. So sometimes people schedule it and then I got to do something else. He said, no, that's BS. You treat that as it's an appointment, like you were meeting with me. You would never schedule over a meeting with me. You should never schedule over. So I wish I could take his advice that when I schedule in my calendar that I'm going to take 45 minutes to go through, do the edits, that I actually execute on it. But that's just lack of discipline on my part. I can't speak for anyone else. That's just not being disciplined, which I'm working through. And my coach, she talks about, we talk through commitments, like making commitments and either honoring your commitment or not. She was like, Larry, you have this defense mechanism where you start to give me the damn story. She didn't say damn story, but I read her mind. You give me the damn story. I don't need to know the damn story. Just, did you honor your commitment or no? And when I don't, it makes me feel bad. And she was like, well, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to honor your commitment? So now I'm working through, if I make a commitment, not to make too many commitments, because that's what I was doing. I was like, I'm committing to this, and this, because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And she's like, commit to the things that are going to move the needle and that you're committing to. If you're not going to commit to something, you don't need to impress me. This is no judgment zone. So your challenge is, I feel you because I'm upstairs in my little work office, but I'll go downstairs, eat dinner, and then come back up. And my family will be chilling on the sofa. And my wife's like, what are you doing? Work is over. And I try to justify it that work is never over, which that's just a big mistake. It just is. And that's me making a big mistake. I encourage you. I support you. Put it in your calendar. Find an accountability partner. Find someone that will support you and encourage you. And then we'll jump through the phone like my dad did to tell you, hey, Alexine, hang up the phone, turn it off, and get to some fun. Get to doing what you enjoy. Whatever it is you enjoy, get to doing that. Everything else, it can wait. It's not, you look at priorities, it's not, no one was on their deathbed saying, I wish I had worked until 9 o'clock in that job, slanging software. Nobody that I've heard. There was a little study where hospice nurses, most people said, I wish I had spent more time with my loved ones. I wish I had told my loved ones that I loved them. So you kind of learn from other folks' example and then execute.
Yeah.
I'd like to add something here that's a potentially unpopular answer. I have found that most people who are trying to solve for this, you're trying to look at what to do to block off time to prioritize this and prioritize that. And you feel like you don't have time because you're working and you got all these things to do. And the real problem is while you're working, you're actually fucking terrible at staying focused and doing the work that you're supposed to be doing. And so what happens is you get distracted all over the place and it takes you way longer to get the particular thing and the particular task done. So you don't end up with as much free time as other people. I consider myself fortunate and blessed that I do not have ADHD, which puts me in like the 0.01% of all salespeople, because most of all you fuckers have ADHD, and this is a huge struggle for you. I don't have that, and I recognize that. But I can literally get done like 10, 11 things in the same amount of time it takes you or Larry or John or Ryan Walker, who's got his finger up, right, to do one thing. And so rather than trying to solve for like, how do I put time in my night to make sure I prioritize my mental health? how do I put time in my calendar in the morning to do this kind of thing? Here's what you should actually work on, in my opinion. How do you actually stay focused and get done a particular task and get done this work that you need to do so you actually have more time left over? I don't know very many people who have as many things going on as I do, frankly. From 5, 6 different business entities to 2 kids playing sports every single day of the week to health problems and challenges, right? You know a lot about my life, Alex. I got a lot of shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
I have time,
Mm-hmm.
downtime. I have time to text you 9,000 times a day. I have time to watch some TV show if I want to watch it. I have time to go to the gym and go swim. I have time to walk my dogs. It's impossible for me to sit here and believe that everybody else here is just doing more work than me. I don't believe that. So I believe your challenge is when you're in a particular moment, doing a particular task or working on a project, you're not fully present to do that project and you get too easily distracted. And so rather than this thing taking 30 minutes for you to get done, it takes 60. Rather than taking an hour for you to get done, it takes 3 hours or it takes all morning. So that's where I think your time and energy and effort should be spent. When I'm engaged in a work-related task, how do I crank this thing out quickly with still high-quality work? And it doesn't have to be 100%. I can't remember who, but somebody said they're a perfectionist. Being a perfectionist in sales and in business is one of the worst possible traits you can have, unless you're an engineer. For a salesperson to succeed, you don't have to get 100%. There's a reason why all of us fell into sales, because we're like B+ and good enough, let's go. I encourage you to embrace that. So that's where I think too many people fail. I think you put the emphasis in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that's helpful for you and some other people to hear about and things for you to work on.
It is. It's helpful. No, I'm taking this all in. I also, the last piece here, Larry, I just recently started working with like more of a career coach, Shelton, who you know. So that has been a really interesting experience too. And I definitely encourage if anybody, like I was very anti-career coachy for many years and like, I didn't get it. I thought it meant there's like something wrong with people. And what an incredible difference to like hear someone else's perspective. And you know him. So he has that personality where he'll just like check me. He's like, what does that mean? Like, is that an excuse that you just said or what? So I think that's been a really incredible experience too. But I think that coupled with what you said, Scott, is going to be really helpful. So thank you both.
Yeah, appreciate you. Any last questions for Larry? We got time maybe for 1 or 2 more.
What's everyone drinking on? Everyone drinking on tequila?
Go ahead,
Can I
Brian.
ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Hey, Larry, what's going on, man?
What's up, B squared?
So it sounds like a lot of the stuff that you're talking about that you do and that other people can improve on is driven by, an ego, where it seems like you don't have this ego of worrying about what people think or what you're doing is right or wrong. It's what works for you. But everybody has a different definition of what their ego looks like and how they overcome it. I'm curious to know what yours is and how you're doing that.
Man, I'm like everyone. Well, I can't say I'm like everyone else. I care about what other people think. I mean, I want to be liked, but I also realize I'm not for everybody. The way I act is crazy, and some people don't like crazy. I find my crazy. There's people who, I mean, I've gotten my. I don't know if you've ever done your brand. It's like a brand exercise. You write your name on the top of a sheet of paper. There's a plus on one side. What positive things come to mind when the name Larry Long comes up? Then there's like a delta, like what are the areas of opportunity? People are like, oh, he's loud, energetic, positive, he cares. And then on this side, it's like, calm the fuck down, dude. Like, why are you so crazy? Like, sit down somewhere and be quiet. So, I mean, my ego, I don't know. I don't think I'm different from everyone else. Like I have an ego, but I just try to keep it in stride. And I realize it's not about me. Like, bro, I mean, yeah, I got to care about myself. I got to care about my family. But if I can focus on other people and serving other people, I'm good. As long as my basic needs, I got clothes on my back, I got a roof over my head, I got more than enough food on the table. Vicky knows I like to grub. Like I don't miss too many meals, which is probably why I'm 40 pounds over where I need to be. Like I'm large. I'm larger than where I used to be, which isn't good, but what am I going to do about it? Play golf and just hope it melts away magically. So I don't know if that answers your question, Brian, but I mean, life is tough. It's not like everything, I said it before, it's not like my life is just a yellow brick road and like every day there's like challenges. There's always challenges. Carpool in the morning with the kids. My daughter was sick, had to get COVID. We were scared. My wife just went to her doctor today. She's been feeling pain. Like stuff happens, like deaths in the family. Like but you control the controllables. And you make the most, you make the best of whatever the situation is that you're going through. And even when I lost my father, that was that was definitely the hardest hit I've had in my life. And it's one of those things where, yes, it sucks. It's miserable. It's terrible. And I'm going to find the good out of it. The good for me is that, hey, it just really honed in that we're all running the race of life, and we don't know where our finish line is. My finish line could be in an hour, but what I do know is I'm going to make the most out of each and every moment that I have. That's all I can control. So I thank my dad every day. I thank God for the blessing that I can actually make the most of my situation. Now, does that mean that everything's hunky-dory? No, there's still shit that goes on all the time, and there always will be. But as long as I wake up, my 2 feet are on the ground, I'm gonna go out and try to help someone else out. I'm gonna try to have fun, enjoy myself. I'm gonna try to create some stories, and I've got some stories. I've had some badass failures. I've had some. My best friend got married. I was supposed to talk at her wedding. I got mixed up on the time. It had a happy ending. We ended up making it, but my wife and I were about to go shopping. We're up in Connecticut. I'm supposed to be speaking at her wedding. I said, let me look at this invitation. Oh shit, her wedding's in like 16 minutes. It's like, who does that? Like, I mean, my life is it's I don't know. Scott, what do you say? People end up in sales by accident, kind of just falling into it.
Right.
Like,
it's the garbage can of jobs.
Yeah, like that's my middle name right there. Everything I do is the garbage can, but yeah. I'm gonna find a way to make it funny and enjoy it and have some stories. And I mean, I wish I liked to write. I don't. Short form, I'm okay. Long form, I just talk myself into. You're not good at long form. You don't like.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Can I coach you for a second? This is a very solvable problem. Stop trying to write long form. Just try to write short form. 365, 720 days in a row. That's it. See, this is how you talk yourself out of something and you overwhelm yourself, and being overwhelmed causes you to freeze up. You just got to change the narrative. We don't do a good enough job of lying to ourselves to make ourselves feel comfortable to get done what we need to get done.
You're spot on.
I'm very good at this. I am very good at being delusional with myself, but in a way that serves me and helps me get shit done. So you're not good at long form. All that means is you can't sit at a computer and write 25 pages down at once. So stop trying to write 25 pages down at once and sit down every day and write 1 page. That's it. And as soon as you're done with that 1 page, fuck off and go play 18 holes because you got done what you need to get done. I'm telling you, y'all got to do a better job of lying to yourself and putting a positive spin on the things that you're doing in the ways that work for you. All of this is just a hack, right? So I'm sorry to interrupt, Larry, but I had to give you coaching right there.
I needed it. That's the reason why I'm here. The hack that I've been is I'm working with a ghostwriter where I talk, and she pretty much we get a transcriber, and
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. A real good way to do it as well.
I love that. You're so spot on. Spot on.
All right, Vicky, let's go to you.
Hi guys. Sorry, I'm feeling a little under the weather here today. But Scott, man, you are just hitting it hard tonight. You're hitting me like right where I live. Thank you. And LLJ, I love you, man. I'm just so glad that you came into my life. And it's just awesome. I just wanted to tell you that.
Right back at you, Vicky. I can tell you the highlight of my trip to Atlanta was being able to hang out with you. And for those that don't know, Vicky, oh my goodness, she blessed me with this right here, positivity. Nice. Absolutely amazing. I got it on my bookshelf for a reason, because it was just a really special, heartfelt gift. I love you too, Vicky. Thank you.
Anybody
she fall off? She broke
she's
the
okay.
internet.
She's okay. She's being a trooper. She's not feeling well, she says. So
yep.
Anybody else? Can we sneak in another question or two from somebody? No? Oh, I saw a hand go up. Taylor, go for it. You're on mute, Taylor.
You monster, got it.
First time in the Patreon, the Tequila Tuesday. My fault, guys. Larry, I really appreciate you taking the time, man. And just quick question I have: how did you pick your mentors? And what did you look for when you're looking for mentors?
Yeah, I mean, I've had coaches my whole life, from my father to baseball coaches, basketball coaches. When it got to business, the first quote unquote, the real sales job I had, making $150. I'll never forget David Turlington. I'll shout his name out. I hope he sees this, scumbag. I made 148 calls, and it wasn't just what he said, it was how he said it. Like, I knew the expectation was make 150 calls. That's what I signed up for. Larry, come in my office. I was like, oh shucks, I'm going to Scissor. I'm about to get a promotion. He said, you made 148 calls yesterday. If you do that again, don't come back. It was some bullshit. And he said it in a mean way. And it's like, I'm not fragile, but dude, I'm here trying to bust my ass. 148 calls. It was just bad. Now, my man James Hatfield, he was like, Larry, come here. He was like, I like you, dude. You got potential. He saw potential in me that I didn't even see in myself. I was just coming off of a failed business. He was like, dude, scrap the script. Hello, this is Larry Long Jr. calling with Sage. He was like, that doesn't even sound like a person. Like, you sound like a robot. He was like, scrap the script and start talking to these accountants like you talk to your boys. I was like, James, you don't know how I talk to my boys. He was like, well, let's find that happy medium, but you got to scrap the script because you're not a real person. So James was one of my mini mentors. He showed me that he was looking out for me, and I'm coachable. Like, I'm open to coaching. I want to be the best that I can be. But just through the years, I found folks that Justin Plant, he's the guy that I go to with video. Mark Winchester is my mentor, 72 years old. He's a sales leader. Oh goodness, he's my boy. Like, I got a 72-year-old white man who's my boy. When my dad passed away, he drove to Maryland, just a day trip. It's 5 hours. He drove to be there for the wake. He didn't even tell me. Like, I didn't know he was going to be there. I wasn't expecting him to be there, and he was there. My family, we went to the Great Wolf Lodge. He called ahead and left like a $50 or $100 gift card just because. Like, it's those people that really care about you and show that they care, and they invest in you with nothing in return. And it's just like, I don't know. I've been really fortunate, just really fortunate. And there's people that I've asked not to be my mentor, but it's just like, hey, are you open to sharing insight? Like, right now, I'm moving from sales, software sales, to now the world of professional speaking and the world of professional coaching. And going to that conference in Vegas, 98% of people are just open to sharing because they've had someone else that shared with them. So it's one of those things of you should identify what are you looking for in a mentor, in a mini mentor? What do you hope to get out of it? What can you contribute? What does success look like? And then going and asking. You got to ask the question. It's not the field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. No, you got to actually ask. Like,
Right.
when you go out, like we're in sales, you got to ask the question. And most people, I mean, there's my buddy rode his bike from San Jose, California to San Diego, all the way to St. Augustine, Florida, 4 months, pedal bike. He said, dude, what I learned is that 99.7% of people in the US are just amazing people. There's that less than 1% that are just assholes. So you're going to get that in wherever you go. And I did therapy and it just wasn't the right fit. Like it just wasn't. And I know I need therapy. I need to talk to a feelings doctor about the stuff with my dad. Like I'm still processing that, but that exercise, that experience kind of scarred me. So it's like, I know I need to go. Some people have had bad experiences with mentors. It's like, you need a mentor, you need someone to be able to bounce ideas and provide a third party. If you have a bad experience, it's okay. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. If there's ever anything I can do to help, please let me know. You're obviously here. You're investing in yourself. I know that Scott is investing and open to investing in each and every one of y'all. You just got to ask.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
I know it's true because I've done it before.
Yeah.
I've taken him up on the offer. I've sent him a text
Well,
and
that-
he's texted me back, and he's helped me out when I haven't even asked. That just shows you that someone really cares about you and cares about other people, because I hear the stories of other people of all the stuff that he does to invest in them, finding jobs, getting them in the right fit, connecting them to the right people. That's who you need in your life right there.
Absolutely.
All right. Seth, did you have a question? I think you did. I saw a chat.
I'm just gonna say hi to my buddy Larry, and it was good to see you a few weeks ago.
Great to see you, man. Chilling in Hotlanta.
Yeah, always great to hear you, Larry. I always pick up some great insight, and thanks for taking the time tonight. Really appreciate it.
Man, my pleasure.
Thank you,
I
Scott.
appreciate you. Appreciate you, Seth.
Cool.
And thank you, Seth, for those connections, the connections that you made for me. Unbelievable. I mean, I don't know. Actually, I do know. When folks open up their Rolodex and open up their relationships with you, that's freaking solid gold. Like it's greater than gold. It's like, wow, they have enough trust to say, hey, let me connect you. Let me kind of put my neck out on the line to make a connection. Like I don't know. I can't find words for it. I know what it is. I know the feeling that it is, but to put it into words, it's like, wow.
All right. I think this is a good place to wrap right here. And just want to thank everybody for coming. Thank everybody for watching this video. If you weren't here, shout out to Larry Long Jr., who brought his full best self that he was able to bring tonight. And we all enjoyed it. Part philosopher, part salesman, part comedian. It's the whole shtick right there. Larry Long. Larry, you're like the Dave Chappelle of sales, man. You should lean into that shtick as you market yourself, I think. I had a good
on me.
I had a good time, and appreciate everybody's thoughtful questions, and I hope you all had a good time as well. And make sure you connect with Larry if you haven't done so yet. Connect with him on LinkedIn. And yeah, I'm sure he'll reach out and try to be as helpful as possible, and so will I. So everybody have a good night.
Appreciate it, Scott. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.